Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, cause it's album and brews.
It was too late to write the Odyssey with the intro.
Right on.
Clear my throat for this. Oh my god, it's a new year. Friends, welcome back to Album Reviews in 2025, the year of the snake, the stickiest music podcast. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Sarah. And I hope I didn't just shoot out my voice for the rest of this episode. Hey, babies.
That was great. We were starting a post-hardcore band.
Okay.
Do it. Hey, guys, if you ask me if today's episode's going to be the best one of the year, I would tell you there's a non-zero possibility. My name's Zach.
You get snaps for that.
Yeah.
Man, that joke was so good. Send transmission to the one-armed scissor on that one.
What is your name?
Oh, sorry.
That's just like peanut gallery.
Wow, I gotta introduce myself. Shit. Sorry. Hi, my name is Dan.
Well, Dan, now that we know your name, welcome back to the show. Eagle-eared listeners may recognize you from an episode that came out almost a year ago with your other project, Robot Civil War.
Yes.
But you're back again, talking about your new project and a new album and a new beverage, and it's a new year, and just there's so much exciting new energy in
So
the
much
air.
new is in the air, but also still a lot that's very much the same. I mean, Robot Civil War, we're still going and doing stuff, and I absolutely love playing in that band, absolutely. But as I've found out with talking with a lot of other Chicago musicians, man, people are in so many different projects and things.
Very much.
You know, you got to be like, man, I guess I got to have my own little things. I'm partially joking on that, but
It is a good way to get another Album Reviews episode.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it has
Yeah.
worked for
That
several
was the
musicians
strategy.
so far.
Yeah.
That's the strategy here, is to get another episode here.
One lovely Chicago musician started a second band to come on the show. As
That
the
is
main
literally
purpose.
true.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's so flattering, honestly.
Yeah. It did make me blush very much.
Yeah, shout out Nifty.
But Dan, for the folks at home, tell us how you been. And tell us about your this is a solo project, right?
Yeah. So this other band that I've been doing is kind of like a solo project that I'm doing. It's called Dyslexicon. It's kind of an outlet for a little more of my like more ambitious, moody, personal and like cinematic sort of music outlet. Because I like doing a lot of the punk rock music with Robot Civil War, and I love writing with that band and kind of doing our thing with the two other people in that band. I love it dearly. I also do have like, you know, some of my own stuff that I write that, you know, doesn't exactly fit within that context and kind of reflects a little more of like what my normal writing process has been for the biggest majority of my life. So Robot Civil War was kind of like this, has kind of been like a new experience for me in terms of like writing music, playing with other people and kind of writing songs like that. But I've always kind of had this like personal thing that I've done with a lot of my music where a lot of times it's kind of been somewhat like therapeutic for me and somewhat of like an outlet for me and just kind of wanting to like, you know, throw ideas at the wall, like try a lot of different things and experiment. And so that's kind of where Dyslexicon has like come in as kind of like the outlet for a lot of that. But now, luckily, I'm able to both do things in the studio, and then I've also now assembled a live band, which we've been playing for like the past 2 years now. So actually, we released the first album under Dyslexicon, self-titled, back in 2022. That's when I first kind of assembled the band. It was kind of like, is this gonna work as a live thing? And luckily, like I brought some friends together and people who had recommended me, other people, and we, you know, jammed on them one time, and like there was like just this moment when we were jamming like through the first song where just like everybody comes in, and there was just like this whoa moment
Yeah.
that
It
I
clicked.
felt, yeah, where it just like this was just like our first practice with just, five, like me and four other people in a room, and just like this moment where it's just like, okay, maybe there's something here to like
That's so huge.
do live. Yeah.
When's
Yeah.
the next gig? Are you guys gigging out?
So we have a release show coming out for our new album, Dracula at Sea. The show is February 26th at Beat Kitchen. And we're going to have the band Stalled and Harvey Waters opening up for us, which are two of my
Oh,
favorite
man.
Chicago bands.
That's a killer lineup.
They're freaking rad. And I had old Smokey Joe do the poster art, and he killed it with the poster art, because there's a lot of this Dracula theme going on throughout the album, and he was able to just like perfectly encapsulate it into the poster, and
Hell yeah.
I'm in love with it. It's so cool. So yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Nice. Well, definitely don't miss that show. Definitely go listen to the latest single, The Liars Fled, available on Bandcamp and YouTube. And definitely go check out Dyslexicon on Instagram. Dyslexicon, which is a hard word to spell. Like
Hilariously.
Dyslexicon underscore CHI. Link in description for that. Let's get a little bit into the record you picked and why you picked it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so for this episode, I picked kind of one of my favorite bands and what's like been a huge influence for me. And just like all my songwriting and just like music that I like in general. And it's At the Drive-In, and we're going to talk about their album Relationship of Command.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Woo, 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 woo.
And remind me, did you also pick the Against Me record your last episode, or was that kind of
That was a joint decision.
Collaborative.
Yeah.
So this pick you got to pick all by yourself.
Yeah, picked it all by myself.
Oh my gosh. How much you've grown.
I'm a big boy now.
And so it's hugely influential on your music. You
Yeah.
can kind of pick that
I
up,
see
which
that.
is very cool.
I see.
Yeah.
And any other reason why you picked it for the episode?
Well, yeah, it's also like at the drive-in, and all of the like music projects around the core formation of Cedric Bixler Zavala and Omar Rodriguez Lopez, like the bands that those two have just been in, I'm always drawn to. I've like loved so much of the work. So at the drive-in was big, and then it just easily segued into the Mars Volta and some of Omar's solo work and everything. So
Are you named after that Mars Volta song, Dyslexicon?
good observation.
Oh, clocked.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah. And I really just like I'm especially a big fan of like Cedric's lyricism and just kind of how he like puts words together, and just like
Very
the most
talented.
kind of like mind-bending phrases that are like, he's got a huge dictionary of words that are just like so expressive and explosive, and they can be very cryptic, and sometimes a really kind of dense to like unpack. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I don't understand like every single lyric on every single one of their songs. It's still like a mystery, but some of that too is kind of just like reading through and kind of seeing the like imagery that it like makes in your head, and kind of the clever like turns of phrases that he's able to use, and in some examples like painting like a picture of like something specific, but like in his cryptic style that I find really interesting. And also just like singing back some of the phrases, like you don't know why they're like, it feels so powerful to say it, but like, I don't know, send transmission to the one-armed scissor, cut away, like screaming that somehow just like feels right.
A lot of good mouthfeel on this
Yeah.
record.
Yeah. Big mouthfeel record.
Yeah, for
Sarah,
sure.
Did you have any? I know the answer already.
Well, ask your question.
I feel like most of the hardcore, post-hardcore music you've ever listened to in your life have been for this show.
That would be an accurate assessment, Zach. That would be a very accurate
So did you have
assessment.
any background with this band, or any of
Not
the
at
influences or
all.
influences as upon?
I was coming in fresh and green as a spring onion. Super, super duper fresh. Learned a lot. Always
Mm-hmm.
happy to discover. Lifelong learner. I knew who Iggy Pop was.
That's
Does that
good.
give me a point?
Yep.
That counts, yeah.
That counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hugely influential.
That
Yeah.
is my baseline knowledge here. But my God, what a record.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get. I mean, it sounds like you came in with a little bit of background, Zach.
I didn't actually know this band very well, but I like a lot of their influences in bands they were influenced upon. One of them being Law Dispute was like one of my favorite bands
Sure.
as a kid, and to this day, likely.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, just like some of the talk singy and some of the Rage Against the Machines kind of influences. Is very
Oh yeah.
very palpable and very good.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Hell
I
yeah.
want to play a game. I'm excited today. Dan brought a game, and usually me and Sarah bring the game.
Oh, wait, do we want to touch on beverage before we
Oh,
game?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm
tell
sure
us
you're
about the pairing.
simply so parched.
I want to drink it so bad.
Yeah. So for today, I decided to pair this album to honor some of the Mexican heritage that's in the band. Cedric Bixler-Zavala and Paul Hinojos are both of Mexican ancestry. So I wanted to pair it with a drink that kind of reflected where the band is from. They're an El Paso, Texas-based band. Hot. It's in the desert, so I figured pair it with something cool, but let's pair it with something that's bright and vibrant and, really fresh and feels good to drink. And so I wanted to pair it with an agua fresca. Specifically, we're pairing it with Agua de Jamaica. I gotta not add I keep wanting to add the like Joe's into it. So sorry. We're pairing it with Agua de Jamaica, which is a iced hibiscus tea drink. Basically boiled some hibiscus leaves and added sugar, and it's delicious. So cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yum.
Mm-hmm.
I love hibiscus tea.
I'm gonna make this. You said it's just like 3 ingredients, right?
Yeah, it's just three ingredients. You just steep dried hibiscus flowers in the water. I then put some sugar into it. You let it come down and steep. Take the leaves out, and that's kind of the beauty of like aguas frescas, where they are very, very simple, but are just so satisfying and refreshing.
Yeah.
Agua de Jamaica especially goes good with some tacos too. So,
Oh, yeah.
especially.
Yeah, this is great.
They're so versatile too. I feel like
this is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, we're doing dry Jan on the pod here. So we're doing Agua de Jamaica, as is. This could handle a little tequila. Or what I used to do at my coffee shop job, we would have always have iced hibiscus tea, or sometimes we would have like a hibiscus syrup for like a summer special drink. Hibiscus lemonade. Little lemon in this. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That's a summertime delight.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of like cocktail making, and I have like a hibiscus liqueur that I've made that's like sitting in my fridge that goes really good with some like tequila and a little bit of like ginger beer as well.
Yum.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Hibiscus.
Yeah.
It's what's for dinner.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
Okay, now I'm ready to play a
Now
game.
that we're properly
Okay.
hydrated.
Yes. Now that I have my sweet, delicious beverage, I'm ready for more serotonin.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, Dan, tell us about the game you're
Feel
playing.
free to Yeah, Zach and I got to sit back like little
Ooh,
divas
okay.
today.
Yeah. Usually I'm like racking my brain like 20 minutes before the episode, like game.
Dan
There you
came
go.
so prepared.
Yeah.
He said, I have a drink. I also have a game.
I have an idea for a game. As being a big fan of Cedric's lyricism,
Ooh.
a lot of the lyric devices, he uses a lot of different lyric devices too. His father was also, I believe, an English professor as well, so that kind of helps to inform some of that vocabulary. And one of my favorite things that Cedric likes to use is what is called a portmanteau.
Yes.
So a portmanteau, for those, if the listener is unfamiliar, is a word made by blending at least 2 other words together. The new word combines the sound and meaning of the original. So I have, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 clues referring to a specific portmanteau. So I will give you clue 1 is the first part of the portmanteau. The second clue is for the second part of the portmanteau, and
Gorgeous.
y'all have to guess what the word is.
This is so exciting.
Cool. Are we on a team or against each other?
I kind of want to compete. Is that crazy?
You want to compete?
It's 2025. I'm over teamwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
2025, individual to the end.
Absolutely. All right. So
2025.
they're going to start off
Should we keep score the rest of the year? Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just try.
Hey, that's a fun idea, actually.
okay.
I'll just try and keep. So I haven't really thought about the mechanics too much of this game. If you want to do
fine.
it competitive, so yeah, we can at least go. We can at least like you get 1 point for doing it. If you don't get it, the other person has the opportunity to steal
Great.
the point.
Sure, yeah.
How about that?
I think
that
that's
works.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna start easy,
Okay.
and slowly I'm going to have some that Cedric has like made in a lot of his lyrics, and so it'll get a little bit harder and weirder.
Mhm.
So we'll see how this goes here. Are y'all ready?
I've never been more ready in my life.
I'm terrified, but yes.
Okay, so let's start it off here. Who would like to go first?
I'm happy.
Ladies first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Zach? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we have the first word here. Sarah, here is your first word and your first 2 clues. So, clue 1, meat that comes from a cow,
Mhm.
and one of cheese's best pairings.
Oh, meat that comes from a cow and one of cheese's best pairings. Is the second word wine? Oh, I'm not guessing words individually.
You got to guess the whole thing.
Okay.
The whole
But you
point of
can absolutely brainstorm. Tell us
I'm
your thought
brainstorming.
process.
I'm brainstorming.
Yeah.
I'm brainstorming. Okay, meat that comes from a cow. I'm thinking beef. I'm thinking steak. I'm thinking beef or steak. Cheese's best pairing. Crackers. Wine. Crackers. Wine, crackers, bread. Crackers, bread.
This is a good game.
It's gotta be. Okay.
All right, I'm a press you for an answer.
Beef Fignon Blanc.
Ooh, close, but no cigar.
I'll take it. That's fine.
All right, Zach, can you figure it out?
I don't think this is it, but it's very clever and I like it. I'm gonna say Chardonnay. Like you charred the beef.
Oh, that's
No.
that's very smart.
No, not quite.
Damn.
Here, I guess I'll give it away. So, meat that comes from a cow. So, Sarah, you're on it. Beef.
Beef.
One of cheese's best pairings. What else do you like goes with cheese? Maybe a certain type of pasta. Maybe a roni.
Oh,
Maybe a
roni.
macaroni.
Beefaroni?
Beefaroni.
Beefaroni. Beefaroni. Beefaroni.
I'm so hungry. I should have guessed that right away.
Yeah. Okay.
Beefaroni.
All right, Zach.
Okay.
We'll start with you then for word number 2. So 0 points on the board.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
anybody's game.
Yeah, anybody's game. Okay, Zach. All right, for you, your first clue is what Halloween is all about besides the candy, and how one normally experiences fun.
Oh, this is what Halloween is about besides the candy. So ghosts or costumes or ghouls or pumpkins.
Mm.
Oh, there's a lot of things Halloween's about. And the second hint is
How one normally experiences fun.
how one normally experiences fun. This is tricky. I'm going to go with ghouls. Ghouls and fun. Ghouls.
This is turning into an ASMR session. Ghouls and fun. Maybe I made these too hard.
No, this is good.
No, this is good. And
This is
I'm saying this as someone who has before brought a portmanteau game to the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
done this before. It was
Yeah.
like TLC shows and something else.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
uh-huh. It was
Yeah.
also hard.
It was
Gotcha.
also hard.
The worst part about portmanteaus, as soon as you know what they are, it makes
like,
so
of
much
course
sense.
that's
You're
what it
like-
is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
All right, final answer, Zach. I'm need to press you.
costume party.
No.
Are you sure?
No, but you're onto something.
Okay.
All right. Hand it over to Sarah.
It's costume something, right? Costumusement. Final answer. Costumusement.
Not quite, but I honestly that could also be a new word. Costumesman?
Costumusement.
Costumusement. I love the commitment
Rolls
to it.
right off the tongue.
Okay. So maybe this one was a little cruel and hard, but let's see here. So
Let's see.
y'all were both on it with the first one,
Okay.
costume.
Uh-huh.
All right. how one normally experiences fun. Now, one of the ways that we experience fun here, what do we like to do? When we're at let's say you're imagining on a schoolyard. What do you like to do on a schoolyard? On a playground. What do you do on a playground?
Play.
Swing.
Yeah. So costume play. If you shorten it, it's cosplay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I need to lock in.
Yeah,
I need to
that
lock
was
in
so
so
easy.
fucking hard right now. Okay, these are okay. Okay.
Okay. I have to just remember.
These
every
are like
portmanteau I
these are
know.
established portmanteaus. These are like words. Beefaroni's like a real word.
I never
Yes.
really thought about cosplay being a portmanteau till just now.
And it totally is.
Totally
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
I'm so locked in. I'm so locked in.
You're locked in? All right, you're locked in. All
I'm
right.
so locked in.
All right, lock in with me here. All right. So still 0 points on the board. We're going through. All right.
Not for long.
All right, Sarah. All right. Are you ready?
Always.
All right. The first part is not quite the same, but very similar to an engine.
Okay.
Not quite the same, but very similar to an engine.
Mhm.
And the second one is Paris never has to worry about paying for a stay at one of these.
Motel.
Yeah, you got
I said I'm locked in. Was it Motor Hotel?
Motor Hotel. Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Wow.
I said I was locked in.
That one had so many
Wow.
words in it. I was like not connecting the dots, so
I'm locked
I
in.
wouldn't even have stolen.
Okay. Very nice.
Oh, that's a funny clue. Paris.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, lock the fuck in. All right,
Yeah.
Zach. Time for you to lock the fuck in.
So
Let's
much
go.
pressure.
You ready? All right. Let's see how locked in you are right now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Your first clue is a disability coming from one's trouble with reading or writing. And the second one is the vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge.
Well, the first one's dyslexic. And read the second hint again for you.
The vocabulary of a person, language, or branch of knowledge.
Is it Dyslexicon?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the second word in Dyslexicon?
Lexicon. Yeah,
and
lexicon.
dyslexia. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks
I
for
love
thanks for
learning.
throwing me a bone there.
Yeah.
Do you feel locked in
I really
now?
needed
Yeah.
that.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now these. Okay, I got two more for you.
Perfect.
These ones. Okay, so I'm gonna be real upfront with you. These are gonna be hard.
Yep.
These specifically are in kind of like the Mars Volta at the drive-in kind of lore. I'd say they're somewhat well known within it.
So the real fans are going to be yelling it.
Yes,
Yeah.
the real fans are gonna be yelling
They're
it.
like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So sorry to put you on the spot for this one, but let your imaginations run wild, and I'll try and give you a little bit of help too.
Okay.
For the clues too.
Great.
All right. Does that sound good?
That sounds
Okay.
amazing.
Scores are even on the board. All right.
I'm still locked in.
All right, Sarah, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, Sarah. Clue 1.
Mhm.
Something that the family gathers around for a broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2, if you're tired of stairs, hopefully you can use this.
Okay. Is it like televator?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay. Wow. I hyped that up way too much. You got on
I
that.
said I was locked in.
Oh my God.
Televator is good.
Televator
All right,
is
I was
good.
like,
I almost said radio.
Escalator. Resculator was it, I guess.
Resculator.
Resculator. Yeah, that's really good.
All right. Point for Sarah. All right.
This is
If we tie, then I have one in
Okay.
my back pocket ready. All
so
right.
This is almost game nut. Okay.
Okay. All right, Zach. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your first clue: a musical composition that is inspired by or evocative of the night. And the second one is: if you cut yourself, you need this to stop the blood flow. And this is like a big cut.
I think
Big boy cut.
I think the
Big
first
boy.
word is something with nocturna or there's like a classical term for like a night piece.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word for the when you tie it off?
A tourniquet?
Tourniquet.
Ooh.
Nocturniquet.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Went-
Holy shit!
yeah. It went from competitive to Sarah just like, there you go.
Well, you had
I was
musical
gonna think of it.
knowledge. My
just-
mom's a nurse.
We would have just
Oh,
had to
there you
wait.
go.
The camera had to cut out 10 minutes of me trying to think of a word. Tourniquet.
You know what? 2025. How about your friends?
Yeah.
I'm giving up my individualist
Nocturnity
mindset.
is a cool word.
Nocturnicate actually kicks ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool one. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna say that y'all are tied here. Here's the last one.
Let's do it.
Whoever can answer it, who can ever answer it first,
I'm so
is gonna
nervous.
get it. All right.
I'm
Okay.
excited for a year of
Hold on.
competitive Album of Bruce games.
All right. Okay. Actually, I gotta write both my clues.
No, for sure.
Because I was not prepared for this much. Hold on. Okay.
5 years of the show. It's time to no longer be friends.
No, it's time to know
Simply
who is the
competitors.
smartest at silly guessing games.
Yeah. Who
The
won
folks
doing the
wanna know.
podcast? Let's do a live show where we box.
Yeah, okay.
Because I want to put on the big shorts.
Logan Paul did it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
I want to put on the big shorts and like hop around.
Yeah.
That's all I picture boxing to be. And then they kind of like hug.
Yeah, they kind of hug. They dance like a butterfly, so there's dancing.
Great.
But when they sting like a bee, they have to punch each other in the face.
Less great.
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
Okay, I hope this is gonna be like easy enough to get, but also silly and weird enough that it might take you a minute, so it won't be completely
Perfect.
obvious. Okay, are you ready
So
for the tiebreaker? All right, clue number 1: if you gotta lose a limb, you gotta do this. And number 2: why are buildings like that?
Cotter architect? I'm thinking cauterization.
Ampu elevation?
Ooh.
Ampute architect?
You're close. Ooh, you're close.
Fuck. Okay.
Amp blueprint.
No. Why are buildings like that?
Urban planning. Why are
Sir,
buildings like that?
Man, I feel like I need to I really got to dig in to learn why buildings are like that.
Yeah, because like, why are they like that?
Why are they like that? How like that?
How do they?
surgery stonemason.
Mm-mm. All right. I'll give you okay, so the first part is ampute. Y'all are both
Okay.
on it's
Amp-
ampute.
yeah.
All right.
Why are buildings like that? Perhaps to house people, perhaps to hold a business or a hospital. or-
Why does it look like that?
Why does it look like that? Amp design?
No.
Like design?
Mm-mm.
Ampu.
I'm still locked in.
I've got like construction. Ampu.
Oh man, feels like you could go to a school to do that.
Fuck, I don't know what that's called.
Oh, what's that school called? Architect school?
Oh, fuck.
Who's the famous architect? He'd be so mad at us right now.
Frank Lloyd Wright?
Yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright would be like.
Man, and so an architect's what? So yeah, but they study what?
They study stuff. They study.
Amputexture. We just needed the second. We just needed to remember what a portmanteau was, and we needed the second part of the word architecture.
Yeah.
Thank you for spoon feeding us all those hints.
No,
Yeah.
that was good.
that is a really tough last one too, because I was realizing ampute, because you'd think amputate, but then it's ampute.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of throws you off there at the end.
Yeah, that
there.
one was hanging right there. We didn't even know.
Let me let the smoke out of my head.
Did you have it? Did I just say quicker?
No,
Oh.
I was this close, but what was I gonna say? I was gonna go to engineering.
Oh,
Was what I was gonna go to.
Yeah.
No, you won fair and square.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
First
Well,
point
you-
of the year.
I'd like
you
to
also
thank-
you did lob them up there.
I'd like to
for
thank
the
Frank
second
Lloyd Wright for building cool houses.
one. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to thank the Chicago architecture crews.
Yeah. I haven't been. I want
Absolutely.
to.
You haven't?
No.
Oh,
maybe
we'll do
someday.
that. We'll do that this summer.
Maybe someday.
Absolutely. I love the architecture tours. They're so good. Totally
Yeah.
worth it.
Do we need a break or anything? Are we ready to get into the record?
I'm still playing jazz.
Cool. Do we want to talk about kind of like any background for the record, real broad strokes before we get in track by track?
Sure. I mean, I will try to keep the nerding out about this record as much as possible. So this is the band's third album. This is kind of like the big one where they were like finally starting to get noticed after years of just constant like record tour, that whole situation. They finally got picked up by a label. The label was Grand Royale, which, funny enough, is the Beastie Boys' like imprint on Columbia Records, I believe.
Oh, wacky.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were picked up by the Beastie Boys. They're like, "Hey, that sounds pretty good.
Wow.
Come on in."
Yeah,
I love
sure.
that.
Why
Yeah.
not?
So and they get a big producer on it. They get Ross Robinson, Ross Robinson, famous for all the new metal bands that he did. He did Korn,
I see
he did
this.
Limp Bizkit, he even did an album with Vanilla Ice. Too.
Work.
Yeah.
So
My
the
favorite
band
new metal artist.
Yeah, so the band is obviously like, why do we want to work with this guy? Like,
Did he also do some Rage or no? Am I misremembering?
no, but
Oh, okay, but tell me more, please.
Oh yeah, so yeah, they're like, oh, this Limp Bizkit, sure, why? You know what? Screw it, let's do it. And then to mix the album, they have Andy Wallace, famous mix
That's what
engineer.
that's what I
Andy
got.
Wallace, who has done Rage Against the Machine, did Rush, also did Limp Bizkit's $3 Bill, y'all,
Wow.
of course, and also really kind of made a name for himself doing Slayer's Rain and Blood
Wow.
and Nirvana's Nevermind.
Whoa.
So big names attached to this album.
Yeah.
In the years 2000.
Yeah, the year's
so,
2000.
like, all those names we just listed are huge right now, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they're moving and shaking things around
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, sorry. Oh, burp.
You actually have to do that end of the mic next time.
Yeah,
Okay,
very
sure.
polite.
Yep.
I usually just.
Yep. So, I feel like important to know about this record. I mean, just one of the things I'll say off the bat is just like how like raw and explosive this record sounds. It's
Mhm.
just like coming out of the speakers at you.
It's so loud.
Yeah, it's
It's
very loud.
bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely has a bit of that loudness going at it, but that's also kind of like it's like very much a signature of like the production of Ross Robinson. Get things loud. The band would just record just live takes of everything of everyone in the room, so just to capture that raw performance
Yeah,
out
energy
there. Yeah, just getting that out of everybody. And then I guess the last little fun factoid is that Iggy Pop just kind of randomly came through the studio at one point. And of course, if Iggy Pop's checking out the studio, you got to be like, hey Iggy, come on, come
here."
on over. Yeah, come be on a few tracks here. Why not? So yeah,
That's
Iggy
so-
Pop's here.
That's so amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of the timeline. I was like, Iggy Pop was like 70s in the years 2000. We're like equally far from Iggy Pop's career starting to this record and then this record to where we are now.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah, it's
about that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if Cedric wants to pop into the studio when I'm doing my next record, totally.
Yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
absolutely.
Or Iggy Pop, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still
Okay.
alive.
Wow,
Still
good for
kicking.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was their third record, right?
Yep.
And I think notable context is after this, at the drive-in kind of had this like indefinite
Mhm.
hiatus.
Yeah.
And still I was seeing like looking at posts and lyrics and whatever, people saying like, yeah, this was their last album.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they released a record in 2017.
Yeah. Which I don't know why people are like getting so mad about it. It's pretty decent. It's actually a
Interesting. Huh.
decent record. Like I don't get the hate behind it. It's a
Oh.
good one.
Yeah. Because I never saw like an active dislike or anything, but
Mhm.
rather like,
Probably just didn't
did
get
they
the
just
same,
not know? Like,
I don't know, gotten like the same push. Or
Sure.
Yeah.
The same kind of accolades as this one has. Because this one has accolades. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
on
Right.
a ton of best
Oh,
lists.
yeah.
It's like considered like a very influential post-hardcore record. Like,
Mhm. a lot of influence, especially on like La Dispute and a lot of those like hardcore bands that were like coming out, like Touche Amore too.
Yeah, Thursday we've talked
Thursday.
about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So and a lot of those scene bands too. Like I was I was listening to like this record in the car, and my fiance just like turned to me and said like, this sounds like we're listening to a bunch of like early 2000s, this sounds like it was from the year 2006. I'm like, no, but it like totally like,
because everyone who released music in 2006 was listening to this one.
yeah, they were ahead of the curve, man. Yeah, having that little bit of like music nerddom like coming out of me, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. No, this record rips.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really glad you brought it to us.
Thank you.
Somehow like super under the radar for me.
Mhm.
And I imagine like maybe a lot of folks who are listening to our show. So
Right on.
Hopefully they're turned on to it. Let's get into this first track.
Let's do it.
A portmanteau, no?
Yeah, right? But I couldn't parse something arsenal, like arcane arsenal.
Arcasinal. I believe is the
Arcasinal.
word for it.
Something like serial killery related.
Actually, man, I should have done my research on that song title here. There's a specific meaning to it, but
Yeah.
I can't entirely remember off the top of my head right now.
It could be like arcane arsenal. I don't know.
Arcane Arsenal.
That sounds very fey.
I think it is actually a word. Probably something like militaristic.
Yeah, there is another
yeah.
like French military word in one of the song names.
Yeah, later on down. Yeah. So like I remember hearing One Armed Scissor like before eventually diving into this record and wanting to dig into it more. And I remember, I believe like I first listened to this record in high school and just like I think this was the song, like what a freaking opener to it. It just completely just like blew my mind. Like it's got the maracas starting it off in the beginning, and then just all of a sudden you get just the thud of the drums coming in with just this pounding rhythm, just like building it all up. There's just like this tension, and then just the release of it is so cool. That I was just like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh yeah, I'm into this record.
Yeah. I feel like I pretty quickly learned like what I was getting myself into with this opener. Like isn't there also kind of in the intro of this track there's like the sound of like like heavy breathing. It literally like kicks off freaking running. Dude.
Yeah.
Like it is driving, it is like catching its breath from the jump. Just so energetic. It was just wild. And then like you said, that release. There's a lot of that, I think, on this record. A lot of like build. Big release. It's like an instant pot.
Yeah.
Which I don't own.
Instant pop of just delicious food in your mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's like one of those cookers that you have, like an instant pot, and you cook your rice in it or your potatoes or whatever, and it builds up steam. And before you can eat the food, you gotta let all the steam out.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought you were saying
see.
like that might explode.
We might.
Yeah, that's another.
And that's why catharsis is important.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You gotta let the steam out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a big fan of the "Beware" refrain. I think that also is a great, I guess, a thing to yell in a post-hardcore record.
For sure.
It's very on brand.
Yeah.
And I again kind of like going with these lyrics that like it. I mean, I can understand the meaning of it, like taking it bit by bit. When you just have someone who just screams at you, "I must have read 1,000 faces," like at you, and must have robbed them of their cause. Just like spewing these lines that are just like, I don't know, like yelling them at, just like has this just like energy to it that it you can't really describe. I can't really describe it. I'm doing a terrible job of describing it, but there's like an energy and a force behind it that feels good just to say it.
Yeah, he's, even if you don't know what he's yelling about, like you feel good about him yelling about it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because it is kind of hard at first blush to immediate, especially because, like you said, a lot of these lyrics are very like word painty and kind of cryptic and not necessarily like clearly linear.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it, at least when I was first listening, was just kind of catching glimpses of like lyrical vibes. Like you can hear like beware and rob them of their cause, and you're getting the energy,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not from the jump like understanding every single thing that's being said.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the intention of what's being said.
And there's like also this element of like experience in it where it's like, have you ever tasted skin? Sink your teeth
Yeah.
in, just like getting into a new
Just-
experience too. It's just like
Feral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, feral's a good word for this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then the weird effecty guitars and just like the beat. The other thing too that like they also, since a lot of the members do have a lot of Hispanic Hispanic heritage, there is just like these Latin rhythms that are coming through. I especially love the like that the main beat on it is like here comes some word terms, is like a little syncopated, where it's like the it's so infectious and cool that like you haven't really heard that in like hard and punk or hardcore music, as someone incorporating those rhythms into like such an interesting manner, but also are like danceable too. That's like so danceable in that style. Yeah,
I got shocked by that too. Was there are bits of this record where I was like, I could get down.
There's some samba and like
a little, a little
Dun,
bachata
dun,
to
dun, dun,
at the
dun,
drive-in.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pretty sure like the girl from Ipanema chords are in here somewhere. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, great tune. Do you want to hear any of it before we get on to the next one?
I mean, just play for the listeners that intro.
Yeah.
It's just like. Got like the synth line there, like, oh man.
He's kind of doing ASMR with the breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what a great intro to a song and a record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Great intro.
Immediate
Love that
vibe
song.
set. Immediate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Moving on to the next song, Pattern Against User.
Every-
Are there any particular patterns that you think, like a chevron or a polka dot, that you consider to be your personal nemesis?
Oh, like the pattern that
Ooh.
is against me.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have an
Hmm.
example, which is why I asked. I'm not a fan of a paisley. I do not like paisley.
Not a
print.
fan of the paisley. No.
I think paisley might be against me.
What's the one where it's like lots of different patterns, and it's like it might be paisley.
It might be.
Define paisley.
I'm gonna pull up a picture of
Oh, man.
paisley. Have we talked about
we are
paisley on
very
the
literate.
podcast before?
We are very literate in fashion on the couch over here.
Okay,
That's exactly what I'm thinking about. I was gonna say
Oh.
yeah.
So
Fuck paisley.
Why is paisley your nemesis?
I think it's ugly.
I like paisley. I'm not offended by it. On a nice little shirt, yeah, I could get into it. Any specific? I guess polka dots are kind of my enemy. I don't like a
Sure.
polka dot.
Yeah,
Not a big polka dot person.
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
I don't think I'd ever wear paisley, but I would put that shit on a couch.
Mm.
That's really
a pillow,
interesting.
yeah.
A paisley pillow is tasteful.
uh-huh.
That's sure,
Mhm.
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Put it on a big
Um,
purse.
Yeah.
I know. I think it's the Vera Bradley.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
The quilted like totes. I think it's the Vera Bradley of it all. That
Not quite your jam.
not quite my jam.
That's okay. So that's so funny where your brain went with this song title. You want to know where my brain went?
Tell me more.
I was thinking of the word user as like end user. Like you talk about the user sometimes when you're like defining software.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a GUI is a graphic user interface.
Right.
So I'm like, what patterns against this like computer user? But
How do we offend the user? How do we
Which
make the
UI
worst?
is your enemy?
Yeah.
How do we make this GUI completely unusable?
Make it Paisley.
Also, I love a song that's got a good hey in it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Love a hay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Love
a
a
hoe?
hay.
No,
No.
just a hay.
Don't need the hoe. Just the hay.
Just the hay.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't to the Lumineers yet,
Yeah.
historically speaking.
Also has I love this one line too. That he says that I just love the imagery of it. Hypodermic people poking fun at the living.
Yeah, loaded.
That's so loaded, and I love the wordplay on that. It's so cool.
And yeah, and the like the consonants of it too. The
Mm-hmm.
hypo people poking like.
Mm-hmm.
So this song, there is sort of dark energy here.
Mm-hmm.
At least from what I could parse, I was getting some. I mean, hypodermic people poking fun at the living. Sort of this like perhaps folks using intravenous drugs,
Mm-hmm.
kind of poking fun at people who don't.
Yeah.
I don't love like the living versus the dead, but like
Mhm.
that's kind of what I was getting here. But I think also my understanding from what I was seeing with this band is like this is perhaps a little closer to them than
Mhm.
just observation.
Right, yeah. And I mean, it also very much a big thing in this band too is
Yeah.
that there is definitely some heavy drug use
Yeah.
going on in this band at this point. Especially dealing with like a lot of the stresses of the tours and
Mhm.
some of the members like have like ran away from home and like hitchhiked across, so like they seeing some seedy
Yeah.
shit around
wow.
there. Yeah, so definitely being exposed to that. I mean, pattern against user, and then they use like dilated, like pupils dilated,
Mhm.
definitely on like a high of some sort. Definitely gives that sort of vibe on it. I think,
Yeah.
definitely picking up on that.
But then it's never so linear, which I appreciate. It's like kind of poetic in
Mhm.
that way.
Yeah, it's not like saying drugs are bad.
This is how the person did the drugs. This is how they look. This is how they feel, and this is what they did after. It's
Mhm.
more so just sort of flashes of
Mm-hmm.
imagery,
Yeah.
which is really interesting.
Yeah, especially and then getting into the chorus, like another really awesome singable line that also kind of like I still kind of like turn my head over thinking about, like, wormed our way through distant Earth.
Yeah.
Like this, then there's like then there's like
Crawled.
there's like a space vibe to this too, distant Earth.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like extraterrestrial, like, or is it like it feels so distant from like this perspective of being like a drug user or someone under the influence of feeling so far away from like reality.
Yeah.
Like how you're going about your way through that reality, wormed our way
Yeah.
and this, I could be completely off, maybe that's not the intention, but that's kind of like
Right.
I-
There's so much room for interpretation.
yeah, which is what I really like about this too, just like analyzing them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
super
like
fun.
if one of your New Year's resolutions this year was to like think critically and analyze literature,
This is
like annotating the lyrics from this album would be a great place to start,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of, like you said, kind of doing like mental sort of gymnastics.
yeah. Well, like we all had a different idea for the word user.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
How
exactly.
fun is that?
Yeah.
And oh yeah, there's one music snippet to play.
Please.
Gotta hear that intro. Gotta hear a good hey.
I love it. Hey.
And the slapback reverb on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the song, it bookends it. Wow. Bookends it. My gosh, words are hard today. Bookends it with like the same hey, to just like and close.
Yeah.
Just like a nice little cyclical nature to end it. It's so
I'm gonna
cool.
play it.
Kind of like my chemically right here.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Way through distant earth, wormed our way through distant earth.
Yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
It is a little Gerardy. Or I guess perhaps Gerard is drawing
A little
from.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Fascinating.
All the drum fills are very automata-y. Like you can make each of them pretty good. Like
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Especially being being a drummer too. That's just like a language that you can communicate with other drummers too. You could be like, yeah, you know about the tap, and they're like, oh yeah, and then like your three other bandmates are looking at you like, I'm not even gonna intrude. Y'all seem to get it. Don't know what's happening.
That's your turf. That's your
Yeah.
turf.
Yep.
Snare, bass, cymbal.
Yeah.
Well, all the drum fills I know are onomatopoeias, like bucket of fish, do bucket of fish,
Bucket of fish.
or there's the splat boom, Debbie boom, which is flam boom, bada doom.
Is there a
sounds like
term
little-
for the
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
rim shot.
rim shot?
Yeah, rim shot. Yep.
Rim shot.
That's funny.
Yep.
I love learning.
Yeah. I like and then there's one for like in funk drumming, like if you're thinking about like Jungle Boogie, where it starts yeah, just those funky sort of intros. Yeah.
Tasty.
Very
tasty.
tasty.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning today.
Speaking of something, well, I don't know if I think this would be tasty or delicious. The next song, track number 3, One-Armed Scissor.
Mm-hmm.
If we weren't doing Dry January on the pod, would this have been an option for a drink pairing? Did you see this?
Oh shoot!
It's not
I
vodka.
haven't even thought. I didn't even realize there was a. That makes total sense that there is a drink pairing for that. I'm
Yeah.
so curious. Wow.
Okay. So, a one-armed scissor, let me make sure I get this right. I have it written down. Is it's basically like if a vodka Red Bull was a Jaeger bomb or like a a bomb type of drink. This is a term in Canada, and you take like your pint glass of Red Bull and you drop your shot of vodka in it.
Huh.
And
Oh.
They're so far from Canada. I wonder why they named a song.
probably touring.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. This
Yeah.
this song also definitely has a big like going places and being on the road sort of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Very much a third record song. The band
Yeah.
has kind of seen some things, they've experienced
Yeah.
the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially like there all the talks about like being like trillions miles away, millions of miles away.
Mhm.
Will you get this letter? Like writing home.
Oh yeah.
It's that sort of deal. Oh, totally. But yeah. Another song like hearing for the first time that is just like, what is this? I've never heard something like this. How it's just it comes out with that iconic riff on it, just like just in your face. The guitars are super splatty and velcro-y in this really satisfying way. And something too that like this song, just like listening to it, has so many layers with all the elements working together that if you start picking out the pieces and listening to it, you start realizing like, well, hang on. Oh my God, these guitars are so out of tune. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like even I feel bad admitting like saying this too, because once you like hear something, you can't unhear it.
Oh yeah.
So like there's the guitar stabs that are in the verse, the bang, 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 bang. Those they are totally discordant from what's being played underneath it, and it's like if you were to like hear that guitar isolated, like, oh my God, that sounds like crap, but
but it works because like we're kind of expecting rough sounds.
It's just kind of going how like everything in a mix with everything together, like those little like even like little things like tuning somehow like don't really get in the way of it. It still like works in spite of it, and even helps to like create more like interest in that layer and kind of makes it super unique. Yeah, so sorry, if you listen to that one guitar part, you're just like, oh, wow, really? That is not in tune.
I feel like it makes sense. I feel like this song's supposed to be a little bit tipsy.
Mhm.
If you're naming it after a drink like that, a
Yeah,
one-arm scissor.
it's a little rough. Rough on
Yeah.
the edges. It's crazy to me that this is the first single off the record too,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
with some of the roughness of it all.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just hear a little bit of it. Let's just plop us in somewhere.
Let's hear these kooky
Maybe
guitars.
we'll find those.
Yeah. And I recommend listening on headphones for this section.
I like that. Can we sample that next time? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to listen to. There's some math in here.
Oh yeah,
good.
total mathiness.
I couldn't figure out what the time signature was, but I'm like, hell yeah! Put out your first single with a crazy time signature in it.
Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely at some point I want to listen to the intro of it and then hearing those guitar stabs where it'll really point out. It'll be like,
Oh,
yeah.
it's right in the intro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on the intro.
I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the campaign.
It doesn't even bother me though.
Yeah, it's just got a little nastiness. to it.
Yeah.
Got a little
Yeah.
stank on
It's got
it.
some hair. It got some hair on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guitar put some hair on your
Yeah.
chest.
But yeah, just super cool guitar parts, evocative. Also just great lyrics too. Like again, very cryptic and abstract, but just the line going right into the chorus of like, tease this amputation, splintered larynx, it has access now.
What a
It's
bunch of words!
crazy.
Like, what a bunch of good words to say together.
Yeah. Yeah. Love a good word salad there.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then bringing it into just the super interesting interweaving of parts throughout the song, and then coming back to then that like build up, the catharsis right in the bridge where it's the that drum roll, like like that, building it up to like this then release, like in the end, like I write to remember, like coming out with that. Yeah, I don't know, that just like that feeling of like release for that is just intense on this song in specific. Like, yeah.
There's a lot of switch 'em ups on us. And it is
Yeah.
also, this one, danceable.
Yeah,
Yeah. Still.
absolutely.
I was shaking my butt to this one.
Mhm.
That, like, that's fun.
Definitely when they were playing live too at this point, Cedric and Omar, the guitar player, also had some really interesting dance moves. Like barely,
Interesting.
honestly, the amount of times Omar is just seen dancing, like not even like playing his guitar. He's just in the music, like
He's had a
in
few
the
one-arm
vibe.
scissors.
yeah, he's had a few one-arm scissors there, but like yeah, given that they're all dancing on stage is
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fun. Have you
nah.
seen them live?
No, unfortunately. They were a little before
For
my
sure.
time when I was old enough to start going to shows.
Yeah,
I had to discover
Especially
them
those
later in
kinds of
life.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I never really got an opportunity to like see them until I did see them as the Mars Volta when they came through Chicago recently, and that was like big lifelong, like, oh
Hell
my god, I
yeah.
finally get to see my favorite band and like favorite musicians, something like
They're
that. And
real.
yeah, they're real
Yeah.
people.
Do they do any callbacks to this project or not really?
No, so
Yeah.
like they did the reunion, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, then it's like onto the Mars Volta
Yeah.
stuff now at that point. But yeah, this song's a banger.
Bangers only.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've unpacked that one, there's just a lot of unpacking to do here. Let's sleep.
Let's unpack our order from the pharmacy.
Mhm.
Track number 4.
Sleepy pop capsules.
Sleepwalk
Dog.
capsules.
The lyrics in this first verse, I was like, kind of locked in. It was crazy. Taser, taser, kindergarten, nap, nap time, pacifier pacifies. Yeah, it pacifies.
Mhm.
High chair crumbles unannounced like a draft from outside.
Mhm.
Like, not the imagery I was expecting on this record,
Mhm.
but I was into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of this like it was giving like cops are little babies, and
Little-
it's like, well,
little-
yeah,
A little
like,
baby theme
well,
on it.
yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, especially on the last track and on this track, we have the other guitar player / background singer, Jim Ward, who's kind of giving a lot more of the like really what the not the gruff, what is it? What's the raspy like those response vocals that are just like you're just like, oh man, he's shredding his voice, but it sounds pretty cool though. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Exactly. Super cool. The call and response on this song. I love it.
Yeah, did he get that from the Beastie Boys?
Must have.
Wait.
Like Ad Rock, he's like Ad Rock taught me this one.
So funny. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's something so satisfying about like a clean vocal and then like a call and response of a nasty vocal. It's just good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's good. And then I really like in the bridge, they're bringing up some religious imagery with Lazarus. You know, Lazarus, man, should have been to his party. Threw hell of a party.
Threw a hell of a party.
Dude,
Do
Lazarus.
you think it was before or after he died?
Well, he threw a fight, so could have led up to it at that part. Man, what Lazarus threw a party, man.
Hey, should have been there.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't quite know how to interpret that, but
not at all.
Yeah.
But maybe
it's
like we're not supposed to. I don't know. That's the other thing is
Yeah, is he drawing on like the biblical depiction of the man Lazarus, or did he just know a guy named Lazarus one time?
wait. You don't see a lot of Lazaruses
yeah,
nowadays.
not a really common name.
Lazari.
Yeah.
Lazarus. Is that the plural?
For a herd of Lazaruses, it's Lazari.
I don't remember what Lazarus did in the Bible. Did he?
He died, and then I only know this because I googled this today.
Okay.
There you go.
He
Right
died, and then he got brought back to life like a couple days later.
Oh,
Yeah. Jesus came and woke him back up.
He
that's
was
a pretty
like,
sick party.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Now that's a cool party.
Yeah.
Bro, you
brought it
totally
back.
died, but then you like came back. Dude.
dude, get out the beer bong, man. Like, hell yeah. I wonder if it's cyclical then, because it's like he throws the party, and then he throws the fight, and then he gets dead in the fight. But then Jesus brings him back, so he throws another party. But then he gets in another fight.
Oh no.
Or is it or is he throws the fight like as in like he purposely
Loses the fight.
loses the fight.
Yes.
Yeah. What why is he throwing this Lazarus? Why are you throwing this fight, man?
What's up?
Yeah. Lazarus just like it's not worth it. It's not worth it, not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not at my party.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Not in my house.
Yeah, anything else about this song? Yeah, no. Pacifier pacifies. Yeah, pacifies is just cool. I like yelling that back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fun words to yell.
Yeah, it keeps it going. Like this is a solid string of songs on a record.
Totally.
I think the whole record actually is a solid string of songs.
Yep.
But specifically up till track 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely for me.
Invalid little department or dipped.
Invalid litter department.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I know how to read.
Or invalid litter department.
Very non-cat owner of you.
Yeah.
I see litter and I go,
Yeah.
all too well.
Now this is the one song where there is like a very specific subtext
Yeah.
to the song, and it is very dark too.
Yeah.
Especially reminiscent of the period that they're in, and very much kind of reflects a lot of their heritage as well. So especially the music video that's paired with the song also helps to like kind of give some of the background to it, where El Paso is on the border between the US and Mexico. Right on the other side of the border of El Paso is Ciudad Juarez, and in Ciudad Juarez they have these factories called maquiladoras, You know, there's very much the subject gets really deep from there, where it's like, you know, American companies building factories in Mexico to have them like export goods back to the US, and you get into like saving on like tariffs and, you know, exporting labor, stuff like that. But this very specifically deals with an issue in Juarez where there was a lot of murders of women workers here that were like on their way homes to where they were living. And it was a huge issue happening, I believe, from about like 1993. There were documented cases like going all the way to like 2012, and these were really like not good times.
And it was like hundreds of women.
That's so sad.
So that is sort of the context that this song is coming at us with. It's not necessarily like a recap of that or anything, but kind of I don't know. I don't know if tribute is the right word, or emotional sort of response to it.
Yeah, I would definitely say kind of like an emotional response to it, because it very much is like, it's like detailing like the lives of a lot of these women, but then it's also like gets into the failure of like the government, like very clearly, like it, like especially too, like recently the Mexican government has like admitted to like a lot of faults with what was happening in this time, and unfortunately like a very familiar story of like not listening to victims, not listening to women speaking out about this, and you know, just failures all around to like protect these people. And you know, really kind of hashing out a lot of that anger, but then also celebrating the lives of these women too, because there's always this response of dancing on the corpse's ashes, which is more so like celebrating, you know, the lives of these people, you know, in Mexican culture being, you know, very okay with death and celebrating death, and so celebrating their lives. Yeah, so dancing on the corpse's ashes, like remembering, celebrating, but then also being like, yo, like this shit's fucked up. Yeah, especially like, let's see here, a vivid dissection that mocked the strut of vivisection, and then a semi-automatic colony and a silencing that still walks the streets. Just like no word of it being talked about in the streets, nothing being done, and just like the stifling silence of like, you know, these people no longer being around is such like that is like such like a haunting image. And I didn't really know like a lot of the subtext or story behind this song until like really, really recently, and I think that just brought this whole new like whoa element to it. Like this is some cryptic serious stuff they're talking about, and they do such like a really good job of like evoking that in the song, and then also giving this like release, like this like especially towards the end, just like this cry of just like anger and just emotional release at the end that is just so palpable, and it's just like you're hearing Cedric's voice just like on the verge of just completely breaking. Like it's like, after having that context to it, it's just like this song just like leaves me speechless now.
Absolutely. It was the song that like held the most weight for me, like trying to parse, not that every song needs to be like, this is what this was about, but like this one, I mean, had such a reaction to, especially since, and not to go on too much of a tangent, but I watched a bad movie last night, a movie that just sucked shit from a butt.
I like that.
Oh, please incorporate. Everyone needs to say shit from a butt immediately. This was the movie Amelia Perez, it's not based on a true story, by the way. This is like a movie that got a bunch of love at like the Golden Globes, and people were like, why? It's bad. Like, it's a musical. It was this movie about violence against poor people in Mexico, and it was not done well, and it was written by a French guy who did zero research on Mexico or Mexican people. None of the lead characters were Mexican. There was like one Mexican actress who like had a speaking role like the whole time. It was just like wildly offensive and so tone deaf, and it's wild that it's winning awards.
Oh wow.
So watching that yesterday
Wow.
made me appreciate this a lot more.
Right.
Because that movie sucks. Do not give Netflix your streams. If you do, watch it with a group of people so you can all talk about how bad it is.
That what you're describing also like feels like it describes a lot of the depiction, like the like a lot of infamous like
The sepia filter to show that you're
or like
in South America.
okay, so I love watching The Great British Bake Off.
Of course.
It's like one of my favorite shows. I love watching it. My mom even watches it too. We can bond over watching that. It's a great comfort show. When they try to cover some other like nationality, it is atrocious and is just like borderline racist. Yeah. I do not know what
the
it is.
Great British Baking Show doesn't appreciate other people's cultures. I'm shocked.
Wow.
And it's like, you could hire a consultant.
Exactly. But like, yeah, it's just like British people covering like Mexican culture is just, it just leaves a really bad taste.
And the French did it too, and I'm francophobic now.
Yep.
Anyway. That was my soapbox. Amelia Perez is a bad movie.
Mhm.
And the songs are bad. It's a musical and the songs are bad. There's no melody.
That's what the musical is supposed to do, is have good songs.
I'm going to sing you, I don't remember the words. I'm going to sing you one of the melodies from it.
Oh, that's just a Billie Eilish song.
Do not too much on Billie Eilish. Not too much. No.
Well, okay. Oh, go
It's
ahead.
so bad.
To just like railroad us back into the song real
Sure.
fast. I thought this one had a really nice influence of Zach De La Rocha on it from Rage Against the Machines. I thought his delivery was very akin to his, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. And then I learned all the song stuff about it. I was like, oh, that's even nicer.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we want to pop it in maybe just somewhere so we can find it. Law Dispute sounds just like this.
Also, fucking love the instrumental.
Oh yeah,
It's just so cool and why and everything. Yeah, just like why I like really like the song in the beginning, and then learning the whole story behind it really deepens it.
Haunting.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Intravenously polite, it was the walkie-talkies that knocked the pins down as her shoes gripped the dirt floor in the silhouette of dying.
Dancing on the corpse's ashes.
Yeah, they had plans for him, and they had spun the last of the pimps. Polyester satin nail jewelry lips, while the guillotine just laughed again.
Dancing on the corpse's ashes.
And the paramedics fell into the wound.
damn.
yeah. It's so pretty when they sing "Dance on the Chorus's Ashes." And
Yeah.
the new context you brought to it
Yeah.
is very cool to look at in that light.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, welcome to Album Repentatonics, where we
Where we do an
Yeah.
acapella whammy?
Repentatonic.
Repenting
Lazarus,
for
is
our
that you?
crimes.
Repenting tonic, which I do know a lot of people don't like tonic water.
I'm
Unfortunate.
coming around to it. Can I say? I've said on the podcast before that I don't like it. Personal growth 2025.
You like it now?
I'm not saying I like it. I've moved more into tolerate.
Nice.
Tolerate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ambivalent.
It's like better than normal water, I guess.
I wouldn't say that.
You know who else is ambivalent to tonic water?
Who?
Mannequins?
Oh.
Maybe a
Famously,
Maybe a republic
mannequins?
of mannequins?
Huh. They've-
What a fucking
they've
Mad
writ-
Libs.
the Mannequin Republican have written jurisdiction.
Yes.
Is that what a republic does? I don't actually know my.
Mm.
Yeah. What a song name. Does it tie into the lyrics, or is it just kind of like there's some lines that it's like its armor was human, and I'm like, oh, what is this?
Like, talk about labor concentrated in the sheepless chapel, which is super cool. Yeah, I don't know. This is another one where like I just think of like the riffs in my head. I mean, you saw that sick intro I
Yeah.
did, and then just like the and it's just so satisfying, and then it just like rips into it.
Mhm.
And then yeah, Cedric going into it with the burial mound. Oh God, no, never mind. No,
One more time?
strike that from the record.
You can auto-tune it sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, this one, like I said, like all the songs just go into each other so good, and we're like on the B side now, right? This is where the flip
Yeah.
would be.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
kind of continuing the vibe. We're sort of if we were riding a bike, we're still in the same gear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we don't
feel.
really get a vibe shift till a couple more.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like continuing to like burners that are just like hit the ground running and just
Right.
ripping your face off, just going hard.
I want to play a little bit of it just so when we play the next one, we can really feel that contrast.
Yeah,
I love that.
Right on.
Maybe just like plop us at 420.69.
Hilarious. For a song that's 3 minutes long. Hilarious.
Don't sex it in a man camp. I saw that sight to the back of his head again. Then sprinkle to your jet lag. Get the wrinkles made with the owner manual. With the owner manual. Set.
Oh yeah, the bass on this also
That goes
really good.
crazy.
It's a really fat kind of party tone.
Sorry.
Yeah,
One more time.
that's perfect.
It's a really like fat kind of farty tone.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Like it like motorboats on you a little bit. It's a little farty.
Yeah, but in a really
Well,
good way. In a good way.
I love that. Oh my god. They need to make like a guitar pedal called Farty Tone.
Oh, they do. I'm sure they do.
Oh my God.
I mean, they definitely make one that's just farts, but farty tone though.
Farty tone.
That's specific.
You gotta really dial in farty tone.
Yeah.
You don't just get a good farty tone off the get go. You gotta dial that shit in.
Yeah.
Oh, Well,
All right, so let's talk about this hard word that's hard to pronounce. Enfilidad, track number next,
Oh, is it
which is
enfilidad? I always just pronounce it enfilade, but you probably
well, it's French.
it's French. You probably
So-
I know nothing.
Enfilidad. So you gotta like,
Lid.
which is a. Did anyone else look it up? Sort of like battle mechanic or tactic.
Yeah, something about having you got a side exposed to the enemy, and they're just gonna do bad thing.
Oh,
Get in there and
It's-
motorboat up on you.
it's it's the battle tactic where Iggy Pop arrives.
Yeah, so this is where Iggy Pop was walking around the studio and they said, "Hey, can you read a ransom note for us?
Yeah.
Also, you're a hyena."
I love. Okay, so he's in this track and the next, and I love how the first time he's in the record, he's reading a ransom note.
A ransom note asking for 10,000 cola nuts wrapped in brown paper.
I want to just listen to the ransom note.
I think we should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello?
Hello, Mother Leopard. I have your cub. You must protect her. But that will be expensive. 10,000 cola nuts, wrapped in brown paper. Midnight, behind the box. I'll be the hyena, you'll see.
What a crazy,
Crazy vibe shift.
really makes you go, huh?
Like, okay, Jungle Book, but also Taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
This song also is like where I can start seeing where it goes from, okay, this is the last after the third After Driving record, and then they break up, and then you see the Mars Volta kind of like spring out of this like continuation of a lot of that like sound experimentation. They have the drum machine, it's very effects heavy in here. It's a lit, and it's like shifting away from a lot of that, like you were saying, kind of like the different vibe from the last song, where it's like, oh, we're going somewhere else
yeah,
here.
we're not just
Yeah.
doing post-hardcore. We're doing
like
something
almost
else.
a little D&B. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play a little more of the production. It's at 350 when we get claps. We get
Oh yeah, you get another one of those.
uh
Another good one of those.
yeah, and it's during this super cool chorus. Yeah, right at 350.
Hell yeah.
Sacrifice our railroad tracks.
Like that flanger on the bass.
Yeah, it's like almost a little Ottawa-y. That's cool. Oh yeah.
I love a double clap.
Yeah.
Don't back up. Ba, ba.
Yeah, something about the double clap. Just I don't know.
I mean,
it's
They know how to do like the cliches, but they do them tastefully and like in the most
Yes.
effective. You got a good hey, man.
Yep.
They got the good hey. They got the good hand claps.
they got the good hand claps.
Yeah.
They did it for the Lumineers. They did it
Mhm.
for Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah.
They did it for all the indie darlings to come. They were actually taking inspiration from
We're
it
just-
at the drive-in.
We're just missing the millennial whoop, and that's
Ah,
it.
I can't wait. Maybe that'll come from Iggy.
There you go.
But yeah, that I feel like that song was for me a very like IDK song slaps though. That was kind of my take on
Yeah.
that one.
Right.
Was like I'm hanging out, I'm feeling good, I'm dancing.
It's a cool seventh track to just
It is.
really
Yeah.
like throw a little curveball.
It's like
Yeah.
you already made it this far.
Yeah. No, it's just a good song. It's just a good song with really cool, memorable parts to it. Love the effects going on it, on the voices and everything. It's just another good one.
Add
they
it to
keep
the
doing it.
roster.
Add it.
Add it to the Rolodex.
Oh!
Wow, it sounds like you're like trying to subvert our thinking through mass media on this podcast right now, like a little propaganda.
A little
Whoa.
Rolodex propaganda. Perhaps.
A little bit.
Track number 8.
Rolodex propaganda.
This one's very good mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll.
Pinch history, feel the pinch blistering. Like,
Mm.
pinch me in dreams because I'm still not listening.
Mm. Temperature. Temperature.
Good mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get Iggy Pop coming back in. He's still in the studio, and he's saying something about a manuscript replica.
Sure. I want
Whatever you say, Iggy.
And but he's like, no, manuscript replica, Bobby Moynihan. And gives you the old little manuscript replica.
Yeah, he
All
kind
that
of
going
sounds
on
like
in
an
it.
old ghost.
So this is the second single. Much more poppy than the first, right?
Yeah,
More Iggy Poppy.
More Iggy Poppy.
more
That's
Iggy Poppy.
That's what Iggy Pop does to a song when he comes on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think that's so interesting that
Okay, I want to hear his manuscript replica.
Yes,
Pull it
please.
up.
So necessary.
Think I'm at a good spot.
it's kind of giving Rocky Horror.
Yes. I love so it says that the lyric that's sort of in the back and forth, manuscript replica, and then it's like cut it, but it kind of sounds like, and I think this is really cute. It kind of sounds like it. You got it. Like he's cheering, like he's cheering him on. like he's in the studio and Iggy's making all these choices on how to say manuscript replica, and
Yeah,
like,
he's
yeah,
like,
'cause you
yeah,
got it, you got it,
Yeah, you're doing great, Iggy. Give me more. Give me more.
manuscript replica. You got it, you got it.
It's reminded me of those Batman videos from College Humor. Where he's pretending to be Batman. He's just trying the voice in all the different ways.
Sure.
Where are the other drugs going?
Where are the other drugs going? Where are the other drugs going?
Also, the back and forth guitars too, left and right. Always love that. Nice little stereo panning. Going
Always
back and
some
forth.
fun color.
Always a good addition to that.
Yeah, how did we ever like music before stereo?
It's rough. It's
Yeah,
rough out there.
Differently, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the
That's
sound
a
just
joke. That's a joke because this all gets edited in mono.
Yeah.
So our listeners like, what are you talking about?
that's
Right.
deep cut joke.
They're like,
Sorry, guys.
you
Man.
sound the
The
same.
real ones know.
Also, this is a nice. I mean, I call it a shorty, but it's like, it's 2 minutes 55. It's about
Yeah, it's a shorter one. Yeah.
shorter one. It feels like it's in, it's out. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of these 5-minute tracks have felt long. They're all meaty enough to like you really dig in the whole time.
I
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
absolutely.
It didn't feel drawn out at all. But yeah, this one is kind of like the radio edit.
hmm
Yeah. The second single, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, last line, the whites of their eyes, Polaroids of the tail is just another. Ooh, that's such a good line. The whites of their
Crazy.
eyes, Polaroids of the tail.
Wow.
Yeah. Just like you just look at somebody, you're just like, oh, I know everything that happened there. Your look says it all. Wow.
It's crazy. I would love to like have a coffee with these folks
Yeah.
and say like, tell me everything. Like,
How'd
what
you
are you
learn these
pulling
words
from?
so good?
Yeah, it's just such a particular like string.
Mhm.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Absolutely fascinating. I'm captivated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Of all the words, you put these ones together.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We're gonna need to study this. We're gonna have to have you quarantined to figure out how you do this.
Genius. Track number 9, Quarantined.
With obviously one of the coolest bass lines to just open it up.
I mean,
You got the thunderous rain coming down, and then just, well, yeah, we
then
gotta
you
play
got-
it.
it's my favorite, yeah.
don't fall asleep. I know some of you put on rain sounds.
It's such a stoner like rock bass line too.
Mm-hmm. Just like the atmosphere, so cool. It fits with the rain. But it's not like, it's like a little watery, but it's not like ocean or lake or water.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
specifically raining.
Yeah.
It's not aquatic.
Yeah.
No. Just
Wet.
Yeah.
You can smell just the thunder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Its song smells like that.
It's ozonic.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fresh rain smell to
Yeah.
it as you're walking around. Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this one's my favorite.
It's a good one. It's definitely up there for me. I mean, I like all the songs on this record, so it's hard to pick a favorite. That one I think has the coolest atmosphere.
Yes.
And the most evocative that I'm just like, I'm in it. Like I'm right in the space where this song is. Like such a vivid picture.
There's an ambience
yeah.
to it for sure.
Absolutely. Again, also kind of predicating like Mars Volta-esque stuff that's like kind of getting to that, a lot of that atmospheric stuff. Yeah. Cool bass line.
Yeah.
Great
Hey,
bass line.
I'll
Yeah.
sign off on that.
Yeah.
And the tone's not even farty.
And the tone's not even farty.
I'm glad I brought the farty bass tone to y'all's attention.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
It's important when you hear it and it's good. You know it.
I'm gonna keep an ear out.
Yeah. I guess check that also off the list, like using rain and thunder sounds on your song. Hey, another cliche, they do it. Hey, but they do it great though.
It's tasteful. It's
Yeah.
very tasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was cliche at all when I heard it. But yeah, it is like a thing to put in records that people do all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But in this context, I'm like, yeah, bring me in.
Bring me in.
It's just such a vibe shift from everything. Because this record went so like 0 to 60 in 3.5, you know?
Mhm.
You got the keys, so shut up and drive. That now that we're like slowing down with rain sounds or something, I
Mhm.
just welcome it so
Yeah.
enthusiastically.
That's a good point. It's like it's like now it's like a good pace right now to like
Yeah.
give you a little bit something more to like chew on, like relax, put your feet up.
Yeah.
It's raining outside. Come in from the rain. You forgot your umbrella. Come on.
Heat up
Yeah.
some soup. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You want to do some psychedelics? We'll give you some tones.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, no, it makes sense that this is so
Mhm.
such a well received record.
Mhm.
Yep.
Just good. Just
Yep.
very well thought out.
And then we speed right back up.
yeah, which brings
Yeah.
us to number 10, Cosmonaut. Man, yelling like that and yelling like that so fast is so cool. It's just cool.
Is that an official quote?
Yeah.
Dr. Ray, 2025.
Let's start putting a silly quote at the top of each description.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to remember what you said.
Yeah, the rhythm is just so like head bopping.
More Rage Against the Machine.
Just a little bit. This chorus. Yep. Right back into it. Wow. Yeah, that little lead off there with the
That's so
Just
fun.
back in.
Is that a whammy bar, or is that a pedal?
I think that's man.
I can't tell if it's a pedal or if it's like he's doing an analog with his hands and the guitar.
I'm thinking it's got to be tremolo.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because I flip like tremolo and vibrato in my head.
Uh-huh.
Guitar effects shit going on there.
One of them goes wah, 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 and the other one goes wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's
One's-
the tremolo.
One's a modulation in volume, one's a modulation in pitch. Is fun.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
love learning. What an
Yep.
easy explanation.
Absolutely.
Ah,
But what is heavier than air?
farts. So
Sarah
sorry.
looked at me so wide-eyed when she said
It's good to be back.
yeah.
It's good to be back. I missed this.
This is
Yeah.
this is therapeutic.
Nothing but bangers
This
on
is what I didn't
that.
miss in all of 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is heavy? Well, yeah, right?
I don't.
You
I don't
asked.
actually know if it is. Googling. I'm
Oh,
I'm
I know.
No, it totally not. No,
It's
it's
gotta
totally
be.
not. No. Well,
You
I'm
think
so-
farts float?
I'm so
well,
happy.
yeah,
this is-
it float. It disperses it, and it's totally like warmer, and I feel it rises. I don't know.
Oh,
like-
heat does rise.
Yeah.
No. According to Google, farts are generally lighter than air.
Whoa! Damn.
Mostly methane.
Egg on my face.
Fact
Egg
checked.
on my face.
We fact check this
Hey,
podcast
I
in real
stand
time.
corrected. Shit. Well, then I'm coming up blank. I'm so sorry. I don't have an answer for you.
Oops.
I'm so happy. That's the first thing I Googled on air. Really proud of us, guys.
Google coming through for us here.
This is the research and the journalism that you've come to expect from
Yeah.
Album Rippers Incorporated LLC,
Mm,
LTD.
mhm. Got any positions open?
You can check our Indeed. Rotating. Rotating openings.
There you go.
Seasonal.
Right on.
Yeah, and I guess I don't have too much more to say about this one either.
I'm just really
Good
excited
tune.
to talk about the closer. We were like
Yeah.
starting to get to this off air, but the Spotify release of this album shows 13 songs. But the original release of this record back in 2000 ended here at track 11 with Non-Zero Possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't hear us talking about this earlier, but how do we feel about the original release's ending versus the extended ending that's showing now?
I like the two other tracks.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Mhm.
love them. Like, I don't feel like I would like be remorse if I never
Yeah.
heard them. I think this is like the proper ending. How do you
Yeah, non-zero possibility for me is just like the ending to the record. The other two songs are cool, and I mean, I really do like Catacombs. Catacombs is a cool song, but you also definitely notice the like, because they took them from like, you know, splits that they did with other bands and other places, and they don't really match. Like, the production doesn't really match, and it's a little jarring and takes away from kind of what the album really is, and it ends with Non-Zero Possibility. So yeah, I think it's cool to have them as just like there, little bonus to you
Little fun
there.
guys tagging along.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, Non-Zero Possibility is just like is such a great closer for this record.
I agree. When I was listening to this album the first time all the way through, I got to this track and I was like, oh wait, there's two more. There is sort of this, I don't know, there's just a really good, I don't know, the song ties a ribbon on everything in a way that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about slowing it down, kind of
Yeah.
getting quiet, showing you can do both super great. Is
Yeah.
huge.
Again, just really getting back into that, building that atmosphere, and
Mhm.
getting really into like a lot of effects and manipulating sounds in a way that like really lends itself to like the production and mixing, like using a lot of the studio as like the as your instrument sort
Yeah.
of deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I love everything that's kind of going on it. And then bringing in the vocals too. There's the you get the call and response of Cedric and Jim kind of coming in there towards the end. Yeah, it's another one of those, like, kind of as we were mentioning before, like it's like a 5-minute song, but it doesn't feel that long. It always
No.
it's using its time wisely and giving you lots to like listen to, grab onto, little details to appreciate, and just kind of like go with the song, and it sends you
Yeah.
on your way.
Sometimes a 5-minute song is like a walk on the treadmill, and sometimes a 5-minute song is like a walk to the library.
Mm.
And I think this one's more of a walk to the library.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like 5 minutes because you are looking at things and your environment is changing and da-da-da-da,
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging out. I was hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
This mausoleum's hardy. Let's just paint you a pretty face. Flies dip tongues into tear ducts, in toothpicks fought unborn. Contusion is hungry. They still eat
I could try some
their
of that too,
young.
right?
Just a little bit. And then Jim coming in here.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. It feels like such a closer. I don't know. We've talked about this on the show before. Sort of the a lot of times you'll hear a closer and it's kind of a like guy in the corner of the bar just plunking on the piano.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the energy I was getting from the beginning of this song before it like
Mhm.
really opens up.
Mhm.
And I always love it because it's just like one last round of whiskey or something. Like
Nah.
it's very that.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much get everyone in here together before bar closes out here. One last round.
call.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like this song. And then when it does open up, it also is just, I don't know. It's like, is it weird to say lovely? It feels like a weird word to use on this record, but this one felt lovely to me.
Yeah, really just showing the like kind of range to like put something like that together where it is so much like
There's like a warmth to it.
yeah.
While
That-
still being kind of creaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a dusty attic, but like there's a couple of like quilts up there.
There's like some nice family heirlooms.
Yeah.
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 And a
Some-
ghost, too.
Some kind of creepy heirlooms that you got up there,
Yeah.
like a porcelain doll up there. It's just like okay,
Stay over there,
Yeah.
hey. And it's like the old, like out of tune upright piano, and like, ooh,
Yeah, no, I totally feel that.
it's
I
kind of
like,
cozy.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah,
Or
it's
maybe
cool.
it's
I
just
love-
winter.
yeah. No, I love that description of it. I hadn't thought about it like that. So no, that's super cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I just also I think it also really shows kind of the power of also like having someone who's good at like mixing to like mix all those, you have all these elements that are coming in to like put it all together, and it's such like you can tell like the details of kind of everything, how it's putting together to help build this picture slowly together, then
Yeah.
having everything come in, just like leading you like from like what down like one passage to like another passage with like the little details it adds, and it's just like, oh, it's like so well put together. I really love how they put this one together, and it's just like the perfect send off for this.
Yeah, great way to end the record. A great way to end the episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I don't want to stop.
Oh.
Let's do the record backwards now.
Let's take a moment, reflect,
Learn,
learn,
cry.
find inspiration,
Sorry, you said cry.
and come back with a Rubrewski.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And the Rubrewski for the heavier than air parentheses moon gravity bracket farts end bracket end parentheses goes to At the Drive-In Relationship of Command.
Congratulations!
You did that in one take, ladies and gentlemen.
That was one take.
That was.
I can't believe I said that all. I remembered all of that. Holy shit.
Beautiful. Well, sometimes poetry really sticks with the heart
Yeah.
and soul and mind.
Mhm.
Folks, thank you for listening to the first Album Reviews episode of 2025. We're very happy to be here and be doing this and talking to you and talking to friends. If you want to be friends with us online, we are on Twitter and Instagram currently at Album Rebrews. And if you want to take a look at our website, it is www.albumrebrews.com.
A huge giant thank you to our editor and singer-songwriter extraordinaire Cameron Bopp. Go listen to his pop EP. Go tell him he's a swell guy for editing our show. We love him so much. Giant thank you to Dan coming on again.
Yay.
Two-timer club.
Yay.
Thank you for picking such a great record and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
If you are on the internet, go check out Dyslexicon. Go check out the latest single, The Liars Fled, available on Bandcamp and YouTube. And then do stick around for the record coming out February 7th and the record release show at B Kitchen on February 26th. Dan, anything you want to say to the folks at home before we get on out of here?
Yeah, you can pre-order the record now too. I'm hand making all the tapes. I even hand make a little
Wow.
journal with all the song lyrics in it too.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
I want one.
learning how to do quartos, like bookmaking
Hell
for it
yeah.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's getting real crazy out there, but yeah, I put a lot of effort into it. It's all DIY, putting this all together. Wouldn't be here without like the help of my friends and the amazing Chicago music community that we have here. So many great musicians, so many great people, and so many awesome people that are such a big inspiration. And thank you all so much for coming and having me on and being lovely to chat to about this amazing record. Thank you.
Likewise.
Absolutely.
Well, to close us out, as we do every episode, we're going to, in the same order that we introduced ourselves, get very, very close to the mic and say a very sweet and tender ASMR style goodbye. I will start. Bye.
That's the air. I'm lighter than. Goodbye.
Oh, damn, I can't do the finger flutters, but sweet dreams and goodbye.